Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Ride Mechanic channel. How the heck are you doing today? Alright, today we are going to be looking at New England's new Quantum Accelerator, new for 2025. If you guys remember, this is an INTAMIN straddle coaster. They installed it, and then INTAMIN got in a lawsuit over the... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Ride Mechanic channel. How the heck are you doing today? Alright, today we're going to be looking at the brand new for 2026, never been run before Quantum Accelerator roller coaster. This is an INTAMIN straddle coaster that was installed, and the park is just now opening it up for this season, so 2026 season. So we got a video at the Ride Valley, and I want to talk about it.
Now get ready. Here we go.
Alright, first of all, if this is your first time here, welcome. Glad you came. I have plenty of videos like this. Just check them out. They're all kind of all over the place. Subjects are a little shoddy sometimes, so you never know what's going to happen. Alright, Quantum Accelerator at New England. It valleyed. Okay, so why did it valley? A lot of people have emailed me saying, hey, what's going on with this? What do you think? Is there anything going on here? Honestly, I don't really think there's much going on with this. I think this is just new ride breaking in. So this is brand new, 2026, never ever been run before. So these trains need to break into the track. And what does that mean? It means the wheel bearings are new, pivots are new, hitches are new, everything is brand new. That all still has to wear in. It's like, well, yes, but they did the initial testing, they did the initial load testing, everything else. Absolutely, that is correct. But during the time when they're doing that, the parameters that they have right now might not have been met. So this might be their first time when it was cold with a little bit of rain on the track, and they weren't quite sure what's going to happen. Now, what happens when it rains on a ride? Well, the first thing it does is it speeds up really fast, and it flies like crazy. Then after that, you get two things that happens. One, if it continues to rain, the wheels could hydroplane. Every time a wheel hydroplanes, it essentially slows down, and then you essentially have a slower wheel suddenly making contact with the track again. So hydroplaning wheels slow a train down really, really fast. You'd think it speeds it up, but it slows it down, because when they make contact with the track again, they're turning much slower than they used to be. So that's one thing that could be happening, but the more realistic thing here is that it's probably a tight clearance track. Great, INTAMIN loves doing that sort of stuff. The tighter the clearance, the better on most rides. So I'm guessing what happened here is actually they probably washed the track lube off the track. It's a minor little tiny thing, but they've been running it. It's been going along just fine. And then the environment got wet, and then it started to dry out again. And once it started to dry out and the track was able to regain its zero wetness around its road guides and upstops, if the upstops are touching on that one, I'm not sure, but it loses its track lube. And when you lose track lube, the train slows back down. Now, on a broken-in train, this is not a big deal because bearings are all broken and everything else. But on a brand new train, every little bit helps, and then this might have been the contributing factor to sticking the ride out there on the track. Okay, so let's talk about the conditions again. Early in the morning, so the thing hasn't been running, so everything is cold, including the bearings, so you have temperature at play. The next thing is it was raining. You can see in the video that the ground was wet, and the track would have been wet, so it's been washed off. I'm not sure of the specific weather overnight, but if there was a bunch of rain overnight, the rain by itself can wash off track lube depending on the type of track lube that they're using. Most parks tend to go for more of a environmentally friendly track lube that doesn't make a big environmental mess all over the place. So that environmental track lube is typically easier to wash off with just rain and stuff than it is anywhere else. When we were taking care of things and it would rain, if it was raining for a good amount of time and the rides are running, it's like, that's fine, just let the rides run. The water acts as a lubrication to some extent. But when it stopped raining, that's when it was like, hurry and go out to rides, because as it started to dry off, you could hear it. As it started to dry off, and I'm not talking about warm and sunny and the ground is dry, I'm just talking about as it stopped raining and the track started to dry, then you started hearing squeaking and squealing as it went around the track. And it's just like, uh-oh, better put some lube on those things quick before the train doesn't make it back around. Now, the straddle coaster has a much lower center of gravity to the track, so I would assume it would have been as susceptible to track lube wearing off, but The condition of the bearings is something that was what I'm thinking of. It's a lot of new stuff that's still breaking in. Even though it's been tested perfectly fine, it's still breaking in. It's got to wear in, essentially. And then the last factor to the equation is that it was empty. Now, they're brand new with this ride. They haven't run it before. So it's one of those things. It's like some rides, especially longer, slower rides, that like this one, that might be a little bit kind of weak in some spots, I should say. Sometimes on those rides, you have to put ballast in those things on cold, wet mornings. We've done it on plenty of things before. I know there's plenty of parks out there that have sandbags or water dummies or something like that just sitting there ready to go, so that in the morning time, maintenance will throw the bags and stuff on there. They'll run the ride, turn it over to operations, and the operations will continue to run the ride. And once it gets past a certain point, they'll start unloading those sandbags. Now, it could be proceduralized, and it's like, after 10 cycles, start unloading sandbags. Or it could be simply just once it makes it past this certain lap time, I mean the time it takes to run a full cycle. Once it goes past a certain lap time, go ahead and run it. Now, a lot of people started poking at this with the drive tires, and they're like, hey, do you think the drive tires had something to do with this? No, not really, because if the drive tires slip, and they do, no question about it, the drive is meant to overcome that. So there's a percentage above that slippage that they use. So the wheels will slip on the bottom of the train. It's wet, the tires are wet, everything slips a little bit, but it's not crazy amount. The bottom of those trains are typically coated. Now, I'm not speaking from like INTAMIN experience with the straddle coaster. I'm just saying drive style trains in general. Anytime you have those traction wheels going on there, they put something to help the grip on the bottom. Either they put a textured surface that's like sandpaper on there, or like B&M for theirs, it looked like a mesh grating that they welded on the bottom of the train. That's what it looked like. Like a mesh grating, like a wire grating that was underneath there that those drive tires would be able to grab a hold of and actually start to push. So the belly of the train that it pushes on is not completely just smooth with nothing else there. It's got some traction spots to it, but I don't think the drive tires were the issue. I watched El Toro Ryan. El Toro Ryan put out a video. I'm like, what the heck? How did he beat me to a video? I know I was late on this one. I'm sorry. But I'm like, what's he going to do? Say the block system was at fault? No, I'm just kidding. I actually love his videos. I watch them all the time. Great guy. I'm not poking at him at all. Anyways, but one of the things he pointed out is that this particular coaster does like a lot of launch rides. The first thing it does, it goes up and over a big hill. Yep, that's your natural, essentially, block section. That's your natural block right there. If it can't make it up and over that highest point, that first hill, it'll roll back into launch section and it won't go anywhere. So if you had so much slip on those wheels that it couldn't make it to the right speed, it won't go over the first hill. Okay, and then there's something wrong at that point. Either you have deflated drive tires, grease on the bottom of the train. Something is wrong that it did not make it to that final speed. But it's safe to assume that if the train goes up and over that top hill, then it's going to make it through the rest of the track just fine. Unless there's something playing a different factor here. I mean, like the track lube, something like that. It's early in the morning. Was it something like a maintenance issue? Did someone leave like a rag stuck in a wheel assembly? We've had that a couple times too. Where's that rag I had? Oh, I don't know. Later on the thing valleys and it's like pulling a rag out of a wheel. It's like, crap, that's what that was. Man, that sucks. I don't know what was going on there, but those are my thoughts. I just wanted to get out here and put those down real quick because I've had a lot of people ask me so far via email. They're like, what do you think's going on? I responded, I don't think it's much, but they're like, we want to hear about it. So I'm like, okay. It's a good day. It's nice, bright and sunny outside. Someone's mowing the lawn always during my videos. And that's son. He needs the money. Don't worry about him. Anyways, like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff downstairs. It does help me. I do appreciate it. And if Straddle Coaster has them, stay off those air gates. Bye.